Hello, my name is Stacy Ann Wright. Today I will be reviewing basic SQL commands as a part of the Teach What assignment for HAP 671. SQL is the abbreviation for Structured Query Language. SQL allows users to access and manipulate databases. There are many basic SQL commands as demonstrated on the slide. Today we will be reviewing the statements, functions, and databases displayed on the right side of the presentation. These include create table, select top, select, concat, stuff, rank, and join. Created table is a useful function within SQL. Through the creation of tables, users can manipulate data to extract or sort through. When creating a table in SQL, there are basic components to include in the query. To create a table, the user must begin with the statement create table, followed by the name of the table being created. Next, the user will identify the columns and data type of that specific column. You can also include as many columns as necessary. Lastly, it's important to specify the primary key for the table. Think of the primary key as a unique identifier for each row or record in the table. As demonstrated on the slide, a table called patient chart was created using the template. You can also create a new table from an existing table using the select statement in SQL. The select statement is used to select data from database. Here we are creating a table from the existing table. The existing table is called dbo.final. The new table being created is called patient list 7. From the older table, we are extracting ID, ICD-9, and age at diagnosis for our 3 columns. With the query select star, which stands for all, from the new table, we can see all 3 columns being displayed: ID, ICD-9, and age at diagnosis. All this information was pulled from an older table. The select top clause or statement is used to specify the number of records to return. The select top is useful on large tables with many records or rows. Using select top function will help to reduce the time to execute a query. Within the select top function are group by statements. Group by statement is used with aggregated functions such as count, max, min, sum, and average to group the results. The order by statement is also used to sort results. The order by can sort from an ascending or descending order. The default in SQL is to sort by ascending order. Therefore, if descending order is preferred, that must be specified in the query. In SQL, there is a join function. The join function can be used to combine rows from 2 or more tables based on a related column. There are 4 types of join which can be used based on the data the user wants to retrieve from the table. The inner join pulls data from an overlapping of 2 tables. The left join pulls information from the left side of the table, and the right join pulls information from the right side of the table. Lastly, full join includes information both from the left side and the right side of the table. An additional join not mentioned previously is self-join. Self-join allows an existing table to be joined to itself. To complete this process, it usually requires the join function and the use of aliases. In SQL, aliases are used to give a table or a column in a table a temporary name. In sense, it makes the columns more readable and avoid duplication of names. An alias is created with the as function or as keyword. In this example, we are demonstrating how the self-join function can be used to determine frequency of ICD-9 codes. We are creating a table to include a Include columns of ICD-9 by joining the table to itself. As we discussed previously, an alias is usually necessary to execute this type of query. After creating the aliases for ICD-9 codes for both columns, the information will be placed in a temporary table called temp file contents. Using the on function, the condition states that the ID from one table should match the ID of another table in the self-join table. Lastly, the query will create a table to display the top 20 matching occurrence that exist in the self-join table using the select top function, group by, and order by. The concat function adds two or more strings together. This function returns a string resulting from joining of two or more strings. In the example, we use the concat function to join strings ID, ICD-9, and age at diagnosis with the string yes. With the new result, yes is attached to the end of the strings. With concat function, the string-to-string attachment is at the end. This is important to note because it is different from the stuff function. The stuff function deletes a part of a string and then inserts another part in the string, starting at a specified position. The stuff query starts with the select, then stuff with parentheses. Within the parentheses should be four elements. The first identifier is the string being manipulated, then the start position, followed by how many characters to delete, and lastly the new string being inserted. The next example demonstrates how the stuff and concat function can be used. Please note that in this example, the plus symbol is used for concat function. In this example, within the stuff function is embedded the catenation function. The concat function is used to join the ICD-9 codes. First, the query is instructed to select and concatenate ICD-9 codes. Then, using the stuff function, the query is instructed to generate a table with the ICD-9 as XML path. This is the concatenation portion. And replacing the first character in the XML path with a comma started in the first position. The stuff function removes the format of the XML link and changes it to a text format. Note that we're joining the data inside the stuff function with the outside using the where statement and creating a temp file called the list of DGXXS. The query is executed and generates the top 10 unique patients with concatenated ICD-9 codes. Lastly, the rank order. The rank function assigns a rank to a row. The rank query starts with the rank statement, then the partition by. Partition by statement is used to define a subset of rows by one or more specified variable. The order by statement sorts the rows in each partition. This function will assign the number to each row within the partition. It assigns the rank order to each row as 1 plus the previous rank. When the rank function finds two values that are identical within the same partition, it assigns them with the same rank number. This example demonstrates the use of rank order function. In this example, we are using rank order to rank the diagnosis based on the occurrence of the ICD-9 code using the prime key ID. We also have a specified condition listed to count how many patients may have the same diagnosis repeated at least 5 times. As we discussed previously, we start the query with the select, and using partition by, we identify the columns of interest, in this case ID and ICD-9. The information will be sorted using age at diagnosis to identify duplication. We tell the query to extract this information from the original file and place the new information requested in a temp file, here listed as temp ranking. We have concluded the session today with the discussion on the basic SQL commands. Thank you for listening, and I hope you find the information meaningful.